So here's a video I think you guys are going to find kind of funny. So I was at a garage sale and I was just searching for things and I couldn't find anything. And then I found these lunch pails. They were like metal lunch pails and they had cartoon characters on them. Like one was the Incredible Hulk. One was Pink Panther or something. But there was 8 of them. And I looked one of them up on eBay, and one of them had just recently sold for $75. The other ones had recently sold for about $30. None of them had sold for under $25. And the guy only wanted $5 a piece for them. So I knew if I bought them for $5, I couldn't go wrong. So there was 8 of them, and my plan was, okay, I'm going to, instead of selling them one by one, I'm just going to sell them for 20 each, but you got to buy all 8 of them. So that's 20, 40, 60, 81, 24. So 160. So I posted them on OfferUp. I put the price as $20, but I wrote price is $20, but you must take all. So $20 each, but you must take all. I said, I will not separate. I said, I want to sell these as just one lot. I don't want to sell one, and you got to take them all. That's the deal. If you want them for $20 a piece, you must take all. So a guy sends me a message and he's like, hey, I'm interested. I just want to buy one of them. And I said, look, dude, I said, please read the ad. I said, it says that I'm not selling one. I said, it says you must take all if you want to get them for the $20 price. I said, I'm not going to just nickel and dime and drive around. And I said, I want to sell them all. He says, okay. He says, well, I really just wanted the Pink Panther. I'm like, sorry, man. I said, it's not $20. I said, if you want it for 20, I said, you got to take all of them. He's like, all right. So I don't hear from him for about 2 weeks. And then he sends me a message and he says, do you still have the Pink Panther? And I said, yeah. I said, but the deal is, I said, you got to take them all if you want to get the $20 price. He says, okay. He says, sure. I'm like, cool. All right. The guy changed his mind. Nice. So he's like, where do you want to meet? So he lived about 20 minutes from me. Depending on how I'm feeling is like how I'll meet people. If people are being really polite and they're like, hey, I got the kids with me. Can you meet here? Like, really depending on the situation is like how I'll meet. If somebody wants to meet just because they're trying to save money on gas and they want a discount on the item and they're like, oh, well, you need to meet me halfway so I can save $5 on gas. That's the type of people I don't want to meet. But if it's like, like, hey, I'm coming from here. Can you meet me on the freeway? I really want to buy that, but it's just a little out of the way and I got stuff to do. Yeah, no problem. So this guy, it was one of those things where he wasn't too far and meeting halfway was only like a 12-minute drive for me. So we planned to meet at the Arco. And so it was going to be 160 for 8 of them. So I get to the Arco and he's in a Tesla. Looks like a rich guy. I'm like, oh, rich guy. He's going to buy some lunch pails. Maybe he's a collector or something. Whatever. So a lot of times when I meet people, I'm not very talkative. When it comes to certain items and I guess the conversation that I'm having with somebody, I would say I'm more strictly business where I don't really, because in my descriptions, I'm very specific with the description. If it's like new, I just write, hey, great condition, like new. And most of my items that I post, I try to have to be in excellent condition just because I don't like dealing with flaws and stuff like that. But if there is an issue with an item, then I'll put it in the description. But it also saves you from having to talk and describe the item. If you're just like, hey, works great, it's like new, then there's really nothing else you got to say because it's like new. And on this particular day, I didn't want to chat with the guy. I didn't find him to be very friendly. It was kind of annoying him, trying to meet up and just get one for 20. And so when I met him, I didn't want to say much. I had the lunch pails in my trunk, and I got out. I said, hey, how you doing? Oh, good, yeah. And I had the lunch pails in like this, the cardboard boxes they give at Costco, where it's like, it's just flat and it's open and the box doesn't have a top. It was like that. And I had them all in this, like, just the box that was open. You could see them. And so I get them, and I'm like, hey, here you go. And he's like looking at him. He's like, oh, he's trying to be like, oh, I didn't realize they weren't in that good a condition. It's just, dude, these are 1980s lunch pails. Like, and the picture was crystal clear. Like, you know what I mean? I got shots of the side. I got the front, the back. I got the lunch pails open. Like, don't tell me you didn't know the condition when I've got 20 pictures that describe, like, detail. It shows the rust. It shows the mark. Like, it shows everything. Like, don't be surprised, bro, because the pictures show it. So he's trying to pull the card like, oh, it's not in good conditions. Like, dude, like, it would be one thing if, like, I took a picture and it's, like, blurry, but, like, you got very I got an iPhone 16. Like, these are high definition photos, bro. Anyways, he's like, okay. So, I said, all right. I said, I'll bring him over to your car so you don't have to carry him. So I carry him, and I bring him to his Tesla. It's like a hatchback. And I put him in, and he hands me the money. And I don't count it. I'm just, like, sometimes I count money, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the situation. But I take the money and I put it in my pocket. He gets in his car. I get in my car. And I decide to get the money because I've been given fake money before, fake bills. And so, like, that always, like, crosses my head. Oh, maybe the bills might be fake. So I'm just like, oh, let me just check those bills real quick. And so I pull the money out, and it's a $20 bill and a $5 bill. It's $25. I'm like, thank God he hasn't left yet. He's in his car. So I jump out of my car, and I'm like, hey. I said, bro, I said, you gave me $25. He says, huh? He says, I did? I'm like, yeah, bro. I said, it's $160. He's like, oh, he says, I thought it was $20. I'm thinking, well, if you thought it was $20, why'd you give me $25? I said, bro, you gave me $25. And he's like trying to question me, like, are you sure it's $25? Like, he knows he gave me $25. I'm just like, yeah. I said, dude, it's $25. I said, the price was $20 each. It says, must take all to get the $20 price. He says, oh, I thought you meant must take all, meaning I just have to take them. So what he thought was, I just want $20. I just want to get them off my hands, meaning I just need the space. I just need to get rid of them. Like, you can just have them. Like, that's what he thought by I meant take all. Like, literally take them. I mean, guys, tell me in the comments, am I crazy? If it says must take all, would you think that I'm just trying to give them away for free? Like, am I crazy here? Anyways, so he was like, oh yeah, he's like, well, how much for all of them? And I'm like, dude, they're $160. I said, just this purple one right here. I pulled out my phone. I showed him. I'm like, dude, look. I said, some people are selling these for over 100. I said, but look, I said, it just sold for 75. I said, just this one is 75. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I really just wanted this one. He says, can you sell me this? I'm like, no, bro, I'm not selling you just one. Like we've gone back and forth with text messaging. Like, I've been very clear since the beginning. Like, I'm not selling one. To get the $20 price, you must take all. Not must take, like, I'm giving you to take. Like, you must buy all at the $20 each. So, yeah, I'm getting frustrated just thinking about it, man. All right. Stay tuned. I'm gonna post some more stories about some smoking hot items and some smoking hot deals.